Continuing to let the breath flow freely, effortlessly. Maybe even bringing the breath into these spaces of sensation you may notice. Arriving to the space between the brows. This is the mind's eye. Noticing if there's any thoughts happening or occurring. And notice if you can tune in, shift the dial, either arriving at a particular intention you would like to set for your practice, or even if it's just tuning in and turning the dial to allow the volume to turn down on these thoughts. As we tune back into the breath, anytime the mind wanders, simply just invite the mind back to the breath or to this intention you have for yourself in your practice. We'll begin to weave this intention, weave this breath into a physical movement, starting with subtly wiggling fingers or toes. Maybe it's turning the head from one side to the other. It's beginning to point and flex the feet, find circles or rotations in the wrists. Beginning to reach the arms overhead as an option, moving into a full body stretch. Taking all the time you need here, we're going to make our way into a seated posture. You could either roll over to one side, finding your fetal pose for a few breaths, pressing into the palm, rising into a seat, or rocking and rolling the length of the spine. You could find a simple cross-legged posture. You could find a half lotus, one leg on top, or just any simple seat. So you allow the eyes to blink closed, soften the shoulders down the back, lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Rooting down through the sits bones. We're going to release the chin down towards the chest, beginning to let the crown of the head hang heavy. Gently taking the right ear over towards the right shoulder, breathing into the left side of the neck, the collar. Releasing the chin towards the chest and making your way to the opposite shoulder. Breathing into the opposite side of the neck and collar. Coming back through center one more time each side with your breath at your pace. As we return the crown of the head back gently, we'll just move into some shoulder rotations here. Inhale, drawing the shoulders up towards the ears, allowing the shoulders to fall down the back. We'll find 6 or 8 rotations and then simply reverse, traveling in the opposite direction as you're ready. As you find that opposite rotation, you're allowing the arms to span out, bending at the elbows, opening the arms out like wings. Releasing. When you're ready, we're going to circle sweep the arms out wide and around, maybe gazing up towards the ceiling, softening the shoulders down the back, palms face one another, spine tall, another breath in. And exhale, side bend over to the right. Right hand comes down, maybe the right forearm and elbow. Left arm reaches up and over. Both hip bones stay connected to the earth. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, over to the opposite side. Inhale, both arms high. One more time, over to the right with breath. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, we're taking a forward fold. Reaching forward, letting the fingertips come down to the mat. It's going to be a gentle forward fold, just releasing the chin, letting the head hang. If you like to fold deeper here, you could walk the fingers forward, lengthening through the spine. Or wherever you are is perfectly fine. Just another full breath in and a full breath out. Good. Walking the hands back up to the body. We're going to press the heels straight on forward and walk out the knees here. I'm going to take the right knee in, interlacing fingers to that outside of the right knee. Draw the tailbone down, reach the crown of the head upwards towards the ceiling. We're moving into a seated pigeon pose. We're going to take that right leg, the crook of the left arm, it's going to hold on to that right foot. The right arm wraps around the right knee. If you don't have a great grip here, you could also come from underneath, using the forearms to allow that leg to come closer towards the body. Notice this is a similar action to your pigeon pose. You control the degree of sensation by how closely that leg comes in towards the body. You can find a little movement here, forward, back, maybe side to side, maybe even some rotations. We're warming into that right hip, inside, outside of that hip. Moving into a little seated twist. The right foot goes onto the outside of that straightened left leg. Left leg can stay straight, or you can tuck, bending at the knee, tucking the left heel towards the right glute. The left arm wraps around the right knee. Right hand near the base of the spine. We're lifting and twisting from the base of the spine, upwards through the crown, maybe gazing over the back shoulder eventually, or wherever you are. Coming back to center, little counter twist, opposite side, left side, both hands come down. Just gently leaning into that left side. Pressing back on up, we're going to uncross the legs, walk out the knees, take the left knee in. As you're ready, we're just going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Left knee guides in, lengthening crown upwards as you root down. Finding that seated pigeon pose. The left foot goes into the crook of the right elbow. Then you can wrap the left arm around the knee. You can come from underneath again, using the forearms. Lengthening the crown up and the root, tailbone down. Finding that movement if you wish, forward, back, side to side. A little rotating. Take that twist, the left foot on the outside of the straightened right leg, The right leg can stay straight, or you can bend into the right knee, guiding the heel towards the left glute this time. Right arm wraps around the left knee, left hand near the base of the spine, and it's lifting and twisting from the base up through the crown. Again, maybe gazing over that back shoulder. We'll slowly start to unwind, taking that counter twist over towards the opposite side of the mat. And lifting back on up. We're going to send the feet out. Again, walking the knees if that feels good to add some movement. And we'll just meet in a tabletop. Crown of the head facing in my direction. Palms underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. We'll spread the fingers nice and wide. From here, pressing into the palms, tuck the chin around the spine. As you do, we'll sink the hips down towards the heels, child's pose. Coming back on up, right away on the in-breath, dropping the belly, guiding the shoulders back. Exhale, pressing into the palms and sending the hips back towards the heels. Flow through this a few times, beginning to move energy up and down the spine. From the base of the spine, up through the crown of the head. Good. From your tabletop, as you're ready, there's no rush. You can flow through that as many times as you'd like. We're going to meet in a down dog, walking the hands and handprint forward, curling the toes under, and then sending the hips up and back, guiding the ears next to the biceps. Hands are about shoulder distance apart. Feet are about hip distance apart. You can always widen your stance, widening your base. Take about 3 more breaths here in your downward facing dog. Good. From down dog, we'll gaze forward, stepping the feet behind the hands, forward fold, letting the whole upper half of the body just spill over the lower half. Letting go of the head here, maybe a little nod or a little shake, loosening through the back of the neck. Arms can be long and loose. You can take ragdoll here if you want to sway it out side to side. Release the elbows if you took your ragdoll grip, pressing down through the heels. We're going to roll on up to standing. Finding your mountain pose at the top, turning the palms forward, drawing the shoulders back, rooting down through the heels, guiding energy up into the legs, up into the core. Good. From here, we'll inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. 2 more with breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Both hands come down. Right foot steps back. We're in a low lunge here. Left knee over the left ankle, framing that left foot. Reaching the crown of the head forward, pressing back through that right heel. Take another breath in. And a full breath out. Left foot steps back to meet the right, plank pose. Shoulders over the wrists here. Pressing the heels back, guiding the core in. Firing up the core here, firing up the breath. Breathing into your center. At any time, you can release the knees down to the mat. Or as always, you can stay lifted. 2 more breaths. On that second exhalation, we'll release the knees if you're not already there. On this first chaturanga, bending the elbows, bringing the chest and the chin down to the mat. Knuckles are underneath the shoulders, chin to the mat, toes curl under. Heels slide back, belly comes all the way down. Inhale to peel the chest up, draw the shoulders back, breathing into the core. Gaze is down about 8 inches or so. Elbows point back like little wings here in your baby cobra. Good, another breath in. And exhale, release the chest down, finding a child's pose. 3 to 5 breaths in child's pose. Or downward facing dog. That's where we'll meet in about 5 breaths, taking the time you'd like to arrive there. From your downward facing dog, we'll take a full deep breath in, full breath out. And anytime you can release your out breath through the mouth to release heat that might be built up. Otherwise, it's just inhales and exhales through the nose. Gazing forward. Step or lightly hop the feet behind the hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, finding chair pose, reaching the arms up overhead as you sink the seat back. You can always take hands together at heart center here if that takes any tension out of the shoulders. Otherwise, we're sitting low in our chair. Navel is guided up and in. Two more breaths. Good. On that second exhale, we're actually going to come to standing, pressing down through the heels slower than you maybe want to, feeling those leg muscles fire, reaching, lifting, lengthening the arms. Inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Both hands come down, left foot steps back, this time right knee over the right ankle. Crown of the head is lengthened forward, left heel presses back. And take a breath in and out. Right foot steps back to meet the left, plank pose. 3 full breaths in your plank. That third exhalation, moving through your vinyasa flow, your chaturanga. Knees can come down, or you can stay lifted, coming forward on the toes, releasing halfway, flipping the feet, finding your cobra or up dog with knees and thighs lifted. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. From down dog, full deep breath in, full breath out. Good. Inhaling the right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. So right foot is forward, left leg is back. We're in that low lunge. The left hand is going to stay down to the inside of that right foot. You're going to open that right arm out, lunge twist. You can always support this by lowering the left knee, or again, staying lifted. The right hand releases down, left foot steps forward, forward fold. Full breath in. And a full breath out. Releasing the hips down towards the heels. Arms reach back, airplane arms. And then finding chair pose from here, keeping those hips nice and low. Three more breaths. Good. On that third exhale, we're forwarding our fold. We'll be here for a couple breaths. If you like to deepen your fold here at all, you could reach around and wrap the arms around the backside of the legs, guiding the forehead towards the knees or shins. Or maybe it's your ragdoll, opposite hand, opposite elbow. Wherever you are, just a couple more breaths. Releasing your fold, so we're going to step back into plank or lightly hop. And then we're going to move through that vinyasa float from our plank pose. Again, knees can be lifted, or you can release the knees down, finding your chaturanga, cobra or up dog. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Big breath in, full breath out. Good, inhale the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Left foot forward, right heel back. Setting up for that twist. Right hand stays down to the inside of the left foot. Left arm raises. Again, you can always release the right knee, or again, stay lifted. Good. Left hand comes down, right foot steps forward, forward fold. Full breath in, and a full breath out. Lengthening the crown of the head forward, opening the arms out to a T. We're going to circle sweep out, wide and around. And exhale, hands down through heart center. Allowing the palms to open up. Finding mountain pose for a few breaths. And softly blink the eyes closed. And find a soft gaze. Your mountain pose. Raise the arms overhead. I'm going to sit back into that chair. Reach the arms forward this time. Moving into lightning twist. Right arm back, left arm forward. Coming back to center. Left arm back, right arm forward, back to center. And just move with breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. Keeping the seat low. You got this. 2 more times each side. Good. Sitting low in that chair for 5. Maybe even smile at yourself in the mirror. 3, 2, and 1. Forward fold. Let it go. And any deeper fold here, option to slide the hands underneath the feet. You bring the palms underneath the feet, allowing the toes to gently graze the creases of the wrists. That's an option. Inhales to lengthen forward, exhales to fold deeper, bowing out the elbows. Come out of that gorilla pose by gently taking one hand out at a time. step or lightly hop back into your plank pose, moving through your vinyasa flow. Always feeling free to add anything to your flow, subtract anything, skip it entirely if it's not serving you today. We'll be back in your downward dog as you're ready. Deep, full breath in, full breath out. Good. Inhaling the right leg high. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, right foot forward. Finding crescent lunge from here. Starting to float the fingertips up off of the mat, lifting, raising the arms. Here we have hips in line with the shoulders. Arms reach on up. Shoulders soft. Maybe gazing up towards the ceiling, core engaged. Hands come together, down to heart center. We're gonna take a twist. Left elbow is gonna cross, hooking onto the right knee. Palms press together at the heart. Elbows stack, gazing off to the right, or finding a neutral gaze. And from here, using your core strength, coming back through to heart center. We're going to release the hands on down, step the right foot back, move through your vinyasa flow. One side to go. From your down dog, deep breath in, full breath out. Good, inhaling the left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Setting up for that crescent lunge here, establishing that base, floating the fingertips, keeping the hips in line with the shoulders, raising the arms. You're high on the back ball mount of those right toes. Shoulders soften. Gaze lifts as an option. Hands come together, down through heart center. Right elbow this time crosses, hooks to the left knee. Leveraging your twist by pressing the palms together. Elbows stack. Neutral gaze. Engage the core strength, coming back through to heart center. Then release the hands down, lots of core strength. Left foot steps back, flow through one last vinyasa flow. We're gonna meet in standing. For some balance, you can either walk feet forward or walk your hands back. No worries, however you want to get there. You need to grab a drink or wipe some sweat. It's hot in here today. Let's see. I'm going to do some balancing. Balancing up next. Start in a mountain pose. You can just join as you're ready. We took a seated pigeon pose. We're going to take a standing pigeon pose. So just starting to shift the weight over to the left leg, maybe even lifting the right leg up. just to establish that foundation. Then we're gonna take a figure 4 so that right knee bends. You can help it along to where you want it to be. We're looking for about mid-thigh. Pressing through the heel, flexing through the toe is gonna help keep the hips straight and that right knee out to the side. So this could be where you are today for balancing. If you'd like to move to a deeper expression, you could start to sit back into that chair pose I know Kelly loves. In this class, you can always use the wall as well to support your balance. You can sit on the wall or hold yourself sturdy with the wall. So we're in a figure 4 chair or a standing pigeon, if you will. If you like to go deeper from here, maybe continue to release the hips down, bending into that left knee. Maybe start to reach the fingertips down towards the mat. You may or may not touch. That might not be happening today. You could explore and see. If you have an arm balance, you could create that shelf with the elbows. Come forward onto those elbows, lifting that standing leg. That's an option. Or you could just stay low, working into the back side of that right hip, working into that balancing on that left side. Whatever you need out of the pose, take your medicine. Just coming out of it with intention like you went into it. We'll take a couple breaths here. We'll clear some of that heat, inhaling through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Good, 2 more. So anything that did or didn't happen on the previous side, it's gone, it's done. We're on to the next side. The right foot is going to root down. We're going to lift that left leg up and away just to establish that grounding, that rooting, that balance. Just that left foot. I usually have to help it get to that mid-thigh point. Again, flexing through the heel, pointing through the toes. Hips neutral. You can stay here. This could be plenty of balancing for you. Maybe it's taking that seat, starting to bend into that right knee, sinking that seat down. Knowing both sides are gonna have some differences. One might be easier, more accessible. One might be presenting you some different opportunities. And that arm balance, I'm not going full into it, but it would be continuing to bend into that right knee, releasing the hands down, fingertips, palms, bending the elbows, or even just finding that deeper stretch, keeping the hands on the ground. You'll notice you're getting into the back of that left hip quite a bit just by releasing towards the mat. Now we stay as long as you'd like to stay. We're going to meet in Malasana Yogi Squat. So separating the feet a little wider than the hips, turning heels in, toes out. You can find your way into your Malasana if you'd like to move the hip side to side a little bit, adding that movement in. Releasing the tailbone down, crown of the head lengthens up. Palms pressed together to leverage the posture. If anybody wants to move into an arm balance or an inversion, now's your time to do that. If that doesn't sound interesting, we're all gonna have a same meet-up point in about 10 or 15 breaths or so. You can hang out in your squat. Again, if you wanna come forward into a little crow or work your feet off of the mat, you can certainly do that. We're gonna meet on the knees in a little child's pose before the next posturing. So again, inversion or arm balance. You've got the time now to do that. We're just transitioning on down, not allowing you to have your time to create your practice. I know it's sweaty in here, so arm balances aren't always the easiest. To offer a variety for each yogi to have opportunity to create and invite in any posture that your body's craving, so no worries there. This next one is called Anahata. It's a heart chakra pose, heart opener. Goes pretty deep, so I'll demonstrate it. If it's a little too deep, we can back out into more of an extended child's pose. So it's gonna start off looking like a tabletop. My hips are gonna stay above the knees, and I'm just gonna walk the hands forward, so much so that my chest, my chin release down, and my gaze is forward in between the hands. It's, again, it's pretty deep heart opener, so if you can't quite get there, it's okay to turn the forehead to the mat. You'll find yourself more in an extended child's pose in that. Whereas heart chakra pose or heart melting pose offers you that deep, deep opening in through the heart space while keeping the hips nice and high. Opens the shoulders and the back. Good. And from here, we're gonna move into a twist. Lifting up slightly, so I'm still on my palms. I bring my elbows up, sliding the right arm underneath the left, coming down onto the right shoulder, right temple. That left arm can stay forward, or you can lift that left arm, gazing up towards the left fingertips that are pointed up towards the ceiling. So again, very deep twist. Take it if you would like, or keep the left arm down. Or you could even bind that left arm here, opening into that left shoulder deeper. And release the left arm gently, and gently unwinding the right, coming back into Anahata. Releasing the chest and chin. Just setting up for the opposite side. We'll give it a breath or two. And then as you're ready, lifting up onto the palms, sliding the left arm underneath the right, left shoulder, left temple comes down. Right arm stays forward. Or you lift that right arm, gazing up towards the right fingers, or that bind here will also work. Good. Slowly start to release the right arm, gently releasing the left. Anahata for at least a breath to neutralize the spine. And then we walk the hands back towards the knees, rounding into the spine a bit more, guiding the knees closer together. We're sitting back on the heels, traditional child's pose. The hands reach back by the feet, crown of the head releases to the mat, allowing for that natural rounding throughout the Whole spine. Just letting the shoulders splay away. Start to heel on up. So as you come up, we're sitting on the heels in a little hero pose. And we're just gonna come onto the back, so allowing the feet to come forward. We'll work into the core here on the way down as an option, or you can just meet on the back. If you'd like to take that core work, feet are on the mat, knees are bent. We're gonna bring the elbows down, fingertips face towards the hips. We're just going to lift the right and just take toe taps here. So switching, we're lifting through the chest. Allow the abdominals to do the work here so our core stays engaged. The breath stays flowing. Whichever side you're on, we'll hold and pause for 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and we'll switch and just continue those flutters. Using the core, staying lifted through the chest for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Both feet come down. We're just going to come on all the way down to the back. You can keep the knees bent here. You can also straighten out the legs and reach the arms, finding a full body stretch. We're going to meet back with bent knees here in just a moment. Bending the knees, guiding the knees into the chest. You can hang on to the tops of the knees here, or just allow the knees to sway a little side to side on that low portion of the back, the tailbone. The knees guided closer, we'll get a little bit more mid-back. From here, we'll find a happy baby, turning the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Reaching for the inner outer edges of the feet, maybe it's the big toes. Guiding the knees down into the armpits or even the space below the body. If you like to rock side to side, you can do that. If you'd like to straighten one or both legs, getting a little straddle stretch in. If you like to add anything here, if you know that there's a particular posture or set of postures you want to work into from here as we begin cooling down, feel free to tune into that. If you're not quite sure, you can hang in that happy baby, a few more breaths, maybe bringing the soles of the feet together, eventually allowing those feet to come down to the mat, opening the knees out towards the edges of the mat for a butterfly. With a hand over the heart, hand over the belly. But again, your practice, you can finish however you would like to finish. Maybe that's a plow or a shoulder stand. As you wind down, working your way into a comfortable position. Your Shavasana, your ending posture. Be flat on the back. Maybe taking legs up a wall. Whatever you need to rest into your final pose.